What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to our post PS4 conference finale thingy. Somebody's really excited. But before we talk about that, I'm here with Tanner Pierce and Peter Parker. And I'm Michael Ruiz. Sorry, that's Logan Moore. Oh my god. All right. So yeah, we're here to talk about the PS4 press or the PlayStation press conference. Before Logan loses his mind over Spider-Man, they showed 4 games. They showed The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, and Spider-Man. And so Tanner was really excited to see some Last of Us gameplay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What are you excited about? What got you excited about this?
Because it's more Last of Us. They didn't show everything that I wanted in the trailer or in the demo that we saw. We can't really tell what was scripted and what wasn't. It seemed like a lot was kind of scripted. Either way, it looked great. But I was hoping to see a little bit of Joel, and I didn't. But we got a full-fledged demo, which is more than we have gotten, which is awesome, and I can't wait to play it more. So,
yeah, something that for me personally, I thought that it looked just more Last of Us, like more Last of Us gameplay. I thought the animations looked like way better than the last one. But yeah, for the most part, it was all just familiar territory there. Logan, I'm gonna just give you the mic here for Spider-Man here, so then we could go through the rest of them without any bother. So here you go.
When Spider-Man was announced back in 2016, I never in 1,000 years expected it to be this good. Now, I thought it would be a good game. Insomniac Games, good developer. A developer that has a good track record. But Michael, what we saw in that trailer, that might be the best game that's ever been made by humans. And I know we saw a new Hideo Kojima joint in that, and that looks good and all. Spider-Man on PS4, 10 out of 10, DualShockers.com. You can put that up on Metacritic right now. Not really. I would be objective if I was supposed to be reviewing it or whatever. Anyway, we got the villains. We finally got the villains. Michael, we knew there would be villains in this game.
Yeah. So we had who was the first one they showed? Electro.
So we saw Electro, and then we saw Rhino, and then we saw Scorpion.
Yeah, we sure did.
And then we saw Vulture, and then we saw Mr. Negative again, who we've seen in the other ones. And then we saw a mystery villain.
My theory here, right when they showed like a second villain, or the third villain, I think it was Scorpion, I'm pretty sure this is the Sinister Six. What do you think about that? Do you think they're gonna, who do you think who do you think the last villain is? And 2, do you think this is like their version of the Sinister Six?
It's definitely their version of the Sinister Six. The easy guess is Green Goblin, just because we know Norman Osborn is in the game. Harry Osborn's also been talked about so far in the lead up to this game. I don't know if he's an active character in it, but they've said he obviously exists in this world. So that's the obvious one. I don't think it is that because we are too aware of the Osborns and what they're doing in this world. So I think it's going to be an even bigger reveal once we play the full game. Regardless, yeah, this is their Sinister Six. And for reference, I am a huge Sinister Six fan. I've been wanting them to build to the Sinister Six in the Spider-Man movies forever. The Sinister Six comics, those storylines are always the best for the most part in the comics. Yeah, like if there's, like, yeah, that is the one thing they could have done in this trailer to make me like this, is to show the Sinister Six, and they did that. Like, I didn't know I could be more excited for this video game, and, like, here I am, and that was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
All right. So, and also, like, the gameplay looks fantastic, so. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And we'll hope.
There's lightning going everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we'll get our hands on that at E3 once we actually get to the show floor. Yeah, so do I. The second game they showed was Ghost of Tsushima, which was absolutely beautiful. Like, that was definitely, I think, the best-looking game, at least graphically. The combat was a little questionable. I heard Tomas here, who's out of the screen right here, but also Logan saying, like, oh, it kind of seems like Assassin's Creed 1 combat. It seemed like people were just coming in one-on-one, and it was a little odd. Tanner, why don't you give us your opinion on that? You didn't get to see it much. All right, well, Logan, what do you think about it?
Game looks gorgeous. The traversal looks cool, like when he hopped on that roof and then he shimmied up there with a big rope or something like that. It looks a lot like I got serious Batman vibes from it, especially when he jumped down and he stabbed that dude and then he stabbed another dude and then he stabbed another dude, and then there was the dude through the like canvas or whatever and he stabbed that dude. Yeah, that's like all straight out of Batman games, it seems like. Is that a bad thing? No, the Batman games are awesome. So I'm totally down to play Ghost of Tsushima. I don't think the combat looks very visceral and very hard. Like when you hit somebody, when you were striking somebody in that game, it looked like it was dealing a lot of damage. So you're not just going to be able to hit these people 12 times before they fall down or something like that. So it looks like it has a lot of weight to it, which I kind of appreciate. But at the same time, yeah, it didn't look like anything super unique. Again, we'll have to wait until we see more of that down the line. Gorgeous game, though. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, one of my favorite frames is once there was the female like friend or something like that, and they had the red leaves on the ground, and like that framing, once it like zoomed out and you had two people fighting, like it was absolutely beautiful. It was awesome. It wasn't the last game shown, but the last game we'll talk about is Death Stranding, the Hideo Kojima game. We're pretty sure it's just a walking simulator, but no. But again, like looks absolutely gorgeous. They revealed two new actors in there, Lindsay Wagner and I don't know how to say her name, Lea Seydoux, I think. So yeah, they revealed two new actors, and we're pretty sure it's gameplay. It looked like gameplay, and there's a lot of stealth elements there and I'm wondering how the tracker thing works, because he's like, oh, I got an idea, and then the tracker thing comes out, and then like it points to where each one of those like ghosts, I'll call them, like point to. What did you guys think of the trailer? I mean, Tanner, what did you think about it?
We still don't know much about it at this point, but I'm all in. I mean, I just want to know what it's about at this point. Like, the gameplay from what we saw doesn't look too complicated. I mean, we saw walking, we saw different variations of backpacks, and there was a gun, some kind of sniper rifle it looked like, or something like that. But I just want to see more. I'm intrigued. They've somehow captured my attention with the little that they've shown of it, which is great. So,
Logan, this is another one that you're pretty excited for. I know that you've gone off the walls with the last trailer they showed. What did you think about this trailer?
I really like that baby's butt. There's a butt in that man's throat. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. This was, I think, the most... Yeah, the most I wanted to say unimpressive, but you're right. Yeah, tame is a good word for it. We finally kind of, the game's scope came into view a little bit more, which it was going to do eventually. It couldn't just continue being this craziness every time it revealed itself, which I was kind of hoping it would be, but I don't know. It can't be that forever. Yeah, it's still a lot of questions. Still seems very early, though. The footage that we were seeing looked like it was not running natively, or it looked like it was obviously touched up, and that was just mainly walking. So I'm sure there's still a long way to go with this one. But it's Hideo Kojima. I'm very excited. Before I pass it off to you real quick, because I know we're about to wrap up. Resident Evil 2 remake. Holy crap. Been waiting for this for a long time. Looks like it's over the shoulder. January 25th. Why is early 2019 so busy now? I don't know. Neo 2. Yeah. Not a surprise either. Like one of Koei Tecmo's most successful games ever. I felt like we'd see that eventually, but I didn't anticipate that it'd be so soon. So, a lot of good stuff.
I think it's also kind of noteworthy, before we wrap up, to say that, like, minus Spider-Man, out of the 4 big ones that they showed, they didn't have any release windows at all. I know that a lot of conferences have been talking about, like, next gen, pretty much. Do you guys think that the 3 titles they showed, do you think they will be next gen? No.
I could definitely see Death Stranding slipping into next gen. That's the big one. Last of Us seems like it's definitely this gen, and Ghost of Tsushima has been in the oven for a hot minute. Second Son came out in 2014, so it's been a while. I definitely think that one gets out before the end of the PS4 life cycle. Death Stranding, we'll have to see. If anything, it might be a cross-gen game, but I have no idea how deep into development Death Stranding is. Actually, we do know how deep into development Death Stranding is because as soon as he left Konami, that game kind of kickstarted, and then they found their engine and stuff. So you would anticipate that's going to take 4 to 5 years to get that game out, and we're in about year 2 or so right now. So there's still a very long way to go on that one. I could easily see it slipping, but
I mean, I pretty much agree. It's hard to it's hard to really tell with Death Stranding. I definitely agree that I could see that moving into the next generation. I think Last of Us will hit. Spider-Man will obviously hit. And Ghost of Tsushima, yeah, I agree that even if you take First Light, which was their DLC, which came out in 2015, that's still. You got to imagine they've been working on this for a while. So I would assume that would be coming probably next year, maybe early 2020. So, and I would assume that would be before the next gen starts.
Well, that's it for us. Thank you guys. Make sure to check out the website, DualShockers.com, for more content. We'll have a ton of stuff from this year's E3 for the next couple of days. We're going to go hands-on with some of these games, like Spider-Man and some other stuff, too, that were present at the PlayStation press conference. So make sure to check back on the website, and we'll have more for you soon. Thank you, guys.